Hello, good morning. My name is Malvika. Welcome you to my mock interview session under the data immersion part of my career foundry course. And in this exercise, I am required to answer certain questions. So, the question number one is, what does CRISP-DM methodology for data mining entail? What does the data analyst are required to do in each step? So CRISP-DM stands for Cross Industry Standard Process for Data Mining, and it is a broad framework for conducting data mining projects. It consists of six broad iterative steps. First one is business understanding. In this step, the data analysts work closely with stakeholders to identify business objective, goals, and requirement of the project. And they identify the problem statement and define the scope of the project of the mining project. Then comes the process of data understanding. In this step, the data analyst collects and explores all the available data. They assess the data quality, understand the structure, and identify any potential issues or limitation in the data set. Then comes data preparation. In this step, a data analyst cleans and pre-processes data, and this includes the cleaning or handling any missing values, outliers present in the data. Then comes the process. Another step of next step is modeling. In this step, data analyst selects and applies appropriate model and build appropriate model and build predictive or descriptive models. This can involve the process of like regression, classification, clustering, or any other statistical machine learning algorithm. Then comes the step evaluation. These models are evaluated on the against the business objectives that are established at the first place. So the performance are assessed of these models are assessed based on their accuracy, precision, and another method is root mean square error method, which are used to assess the effectiveness of the model. Then comes the last step is deployment. Under this step, data analysts are required to work with the IT professional to deploy the final model in the existing system. And under these steps, the data analysts are also required to maintain and manage the ongoing existing model performance of the model as an ongoing task. So yeah, this is the broad. These are the broad six steps under the CRISP-DM data mining technique. Then next question is explain what needs to be done before you can forecast time series. In other words, what does time series analysis can involve? And time series analysis involves an analyzing and forecasting data points collected over time. So the main steps are firstly data collecting which entails collecting historical data points at a regular time interval. Then data pre-processing, handling missing values, outlier, addressing any data quality issues, and transforming data as per the requirement. Then come exploratory analysis, and under this step, data analysts are required to analyze trends, seasonality, and identify pattern in the current data in the selected data. And this can be done by way of either visualization or any other statistical techniques. Then come the next step is model selection, selecting appropriate model based on the structure of the data, be it ARIMA model or Facebook Profit, and these are the two example of data model. And so the models are selected on the basis of the data structure. Then comes the next step is data model training. The, so model are estimating model parameters based on the historical data to make prediction. Then comes the next step is model evaluation, assessing the model performance and comparing its result with the actual data. And then comes the last step is forecasting. Under the trained model, then future predictions are made based on the new data that has been generated by implementing the new model. So these are the broad steps that we need to analyze before in time series analysis. So yeah, next question is discuss the main principle of data ethics as well as what companies or organizations could do to uphold these principles. So first and foremost, this data ethics principles include privacy, respecting individual rights, and protecting their personal data is first and foremost. Then next is consent and transparency. Appropriate consent should be taken before collecting any personal data, and there should be a and and the process of data analysis should be transparent about data practices, like how the collect data will be utilized, and how they are going to be stored. And so there should be very concise and clear and transparent. Then next is fairness and bias, ensuring fairness and in the process of data analysis, that there is no discrimination or bias in addressing any or in implementing any data algorithm. Then comes data security implement. This means implementing security measures to protect the data from unauthorized usage or access or loss. And then comes the accountability. And then this and under this step, the data collector should be held accountable, and they should take owners of the data they are collecting, and be accountable for any misuse or potential harm that can occur during the process of data analysis, or any other decision that are based on the data, the collected data. So the companies and organization to uphold these principles should carry out appropriate trainings and regular ethical training of employees, establish clear data governance framework, or ethical review committee should be incorporated to review and oversee these data ethics practices at regular interval of time. Yeah. So next question is like, imagine you are an analyst as a financial service company, and you have some concern about bias in the way of predictive model was measured. How would you raise your concern with your manager? Make sure some suggestion how would to avoid measurement bias in future. So if I was an analyst in financial service and then encounter uh, f- uh, any predictive model bias, then first and foremost is to raise concern about the bias in the predictive model measurement. So, and gather and to raise the concern, we are first and foremost would be to gather evidence and schedule meeting with my manager. And during this meeting, I would present evidence and explain the potential impact which it can have in, or which it can have in the decision making process, and propose solutions such as evaluating the model, incorporating fairness metrics during the deployment process. These are the broad steps that should be undertaken if anyone encounters any bias in the current working environment. So next question is, explain difference between regression and classification model and predictive analysis. When would you use one of these models over others? So yeah, regression models are used for predicting continuous numerical values, while classification models are used for predicting categorical classes. So, for example, a regression model would be suitable when output is quantity, like such as predicting housing prices. Then regression model should be used. And on the other hand, classification model uses category output, like we are distinguishes email under the category of spams or not spam. The so these are the two broad difference, and like regression model uses continuous data, and classification model uses discrete data. So the choice between two depends on the nature of the problem and the type of the output that is required. So that's it from my side. Thank you so much for your time. I hope this answer all the questions. Thank you.